What's up, everybody, man? You guys already know what time it is with this guy right here. Yes, I am back. And the reason why I didn't refer to OG is because there's just a lot of sensitive people right here on this social media, man. I didn't give myself that title. It was given to me. You know, everything that I've been labeled to was given to me. And I'm referring to the good jackets, okay? Because for those of you trying to put bad jackets on me, they will never fit. I'm one of them persons that is under them old school rules, and I'm not going to change for nobody. Reglas and stipulations may change as time goes on and generations pass. Doesn't mean I have to agree with them, but I won't get involved with them. I won't go against the grain, whether I like it or not. You know, one thing I will do, I will speak on it and speak my mind, because what is right and what is wrong is wrong. You know, that I will do. I will voice my opinion. Now, if I'm ever approached, asked of someone that is relevant to pump my brakes, I will give that individual that respect. You know, because obviously what I'm talking about may interfere with what agenda they're pushing. And I won't get into too much detail about that, because it's really none of anybody's business. You know what I mean? If you're in the game, you're in the game. If you're not, just sit in the audience and just peep game. Stop involving yourself in something you don't know, you know, because it goes real deep. But anyways, people, if you guys want to get started on your fitness journey, you already know what time it is with this OG. I will get you on becoming that 10.5. I back my word on that. My word is solid. When I give my word, I stick to it. I don't go back, because that's all I have is my word. Of course, I got my nuts. That's obvious. I have 5 boys. But anyways, people, that's here nor there, man. OG rambles on a lot. For those of you that don't know and you're new to my channel, this is a fitness channel. I usually start off with elaborating about something that has to do with your overall health and fitness, with the anatomy of the body, the way it works, and breakdowns of microbes, bacteria, organs, and you know, every row that your body goes through. You know, I try to touch on it. And no, I don't give people advice, because I'm not a medical doctor. I just share knowledge that I've obtained throughout the years of you know, exercising. And I practice my freedom of speech, you know, which is what I do. So anyways, people, if you want to get started on your fitness journey and become that best version of yourself, and you don't know how to get started, then you shoot me a DM on my Instagram. My Instagram is high_power_fitness_, or you could email me your phone number at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. We'll jump on a phone call. I'll go over details with you on what I do for you on my program. Guaranteed to work. You're not obligated to sign on for a whole year. You're not obligated to do burpees. Burpees is something that I incorporate because it's something I've been doing for a lot of years. You don't have to go to a gym. You can work out in the comfort of your own home. I highly recommend that. That's what I do. I work out in my backyard. I do the backyard boogie, baby. And the reason I'm doing this is that way I can show my new audience that you don't have to hit a gym. Those of you that's been following me for the past couple years on Instagram, you know I hit that gym every morning religiously. I was there at 2 o'clock in the morning, getting it in, baby. No excuse, rain or shine. And then from there, going to work and putting in minimum 12-hour shifts. So as far as not having time to work on yourself and become that best version of yourself, it's bullshit. You know, if you want it, you're going to get up and get it. You know, you can't talk about it. You got to be about it. Well, anyways, people, I'm going to touch on a little bit about A couple different topics here. I got a couple individuals that reached out to me, man. Hey, I appreciate that, and that's the way that shows a lot of professionalism in an individual, because this social media shit will get stirred up. And like I've said in the past, and I'm going to tell you guys today, I may put something here on social media, and there's going to be a virgin ear out there that doesn't understand or comprehend what I'm saying. They don't. They can't comprehend the vernacular that I put it in. So they're going to accept what I put out there in a different meaning, And for those of you that try to use prison lingo and don't understand it, there's definitions to certain things, So on one of the topics that I'm going to touch on is about an individual, will he be able to walk the main line? And I'm going to keep it in simple, in layman's terms. It's PC, protective custody, okay? Because there's different reasons why people go to them S and Y yards. People that's checked out, they went out backwards, debriefed, And I won't get into that detail because if you don't know, you really don't need to know. There's no purpose to know what it is. Just like I say, just keep it under one category, the PC yard and the GP yard. An individual asked me if a certain individual will be able to walk the yard even though there's no paperwork on him. That's a very good question. Everyone may have a different answer to this, but I'm going to tell you from my experience. Doing time in my time, regardless of how you went out and you ended up on the other side where people claim the grass was greener, there was no coming back. Okay? That's my mentality. Once you've tapped in with that other side, there's no clearing it up. Okay? But from my understanding nowadays, individuals are able to buy their way back. Now that's something I disagree upon. Because when you play and you play these games, don't half-ass the shit. Be in it to win it, baby. You know what I mean? But not all of us are built like, the next man. There's very, very few that I've seen that would ride certain things out and keep getting holes poked in them everywhere they go. I'd say good at 95% of the time, an individual will end up fucking rolling it up. I won't get into detail about that, but like I said, a certain individual, he's a hot commodity right now. I'm not going to say his name because I said on my last video it would probably be the last time I touch on it, so I'm not going to mention the individual's name, but one of my supporters had asked me about if this person would be able to walk the main line, and that would be entirely up to where he would land at. I'm going to give you an example, okay, because there was an individual, I won't say no names, he had a charge on him. It was statutory rape, okay? He turned 18. This was his high school sweetheart. The parents didn't like him because he was a gangbanger and she was a schoolgirl. So obviously they reported him. And that's what he went to jail for. He was actually a good kid, you know what I mean? He was a productive gangbanger, let's just say that. He was educated. But his supposed in-laws, they fucking did him dirty, man. They reported him, and the law came in and did what they did, and they sent him where he had to go. He got the blues, going through the system, got him bad. And I actually knew his situation. Okay, I wasn't gonna co-sign, but I did put it in the individual's ear of the situation that was going on. Okay, by me having let's just say, I'm not even going to say a reputation because people will take that out of context. By me being a regular, let's just put it this way, through that system, my voice was heard to a certain extent. It had a little value to it. So when I brought it to the individual's attention, the one that was running the things there, he put a hold on it. They did their research and got it cleared. Okay, but by me even speaking on that, if that individual would have rolled it up, it would have reflected on me. Okay, but I've already had done spoken with the individual that had the bad jacket on him. That is kind of like a fucked up jacket, you know what I mean? No matter how you look at it, but this is a certain situation that happened with him, and this was his high school sweetheart. It's just the parents didn't like him because he was a gangbanger and she was a little schoolgirl, you know. There was a year or year and a half age difference, you know. They were both teenagers, but once he turned of age, you know, they reported his ass, and you know, shit happens. So, anyways, we went through the whole process. The homie got cleared. He was okay to do his tiempo. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows somebody. Okay, and if you could validate what goes on, or if you have somebody that's word has some type of value to it, it'll help you skate through certain areas. Let's just say. But now you got to keep in mind, anytime and every time that individual were to be transferred, he would have to go through the whole process. Will that individual be able to go through the beatings, and they may just progress to stickings? Would he be able to hang with it? That's up to the individual at the end of the day. You know, so that right there, I'm hoping would answer what I was asked about if he were to walk the line. Now, the individual that went in there with no paperwork, but people actually had validation of what he did because it came out of the horse's mouth itself. That's a tricky situation. This guy could go in as a Mexica and try to run it out as long as he can. But more than likely, I could tell you right now, he's going to end up getting his win taken. It'll start off a certain way. He'd get the blues because obviously he's new to the system, and he's going to try to run through and skate through. And once it's known, it's going to be known. I can't speak for the individual himself because I don't know what type of warrior blood he's got in him. I don't know if he's a Mexica or just a warrior in general. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's in it to win it. You know what I mean? That's the way I like to classify it as. Okay, so at the end of the day, it would be up to that person, you know, because yeah, he may not have paperwork on him, but it came from his mouth himself. So this will be an ongoing theme. This guy would be a target, and I'm going to tell you what it does. It will open up a door. It will give his enemies a pass to reach out and touch him, and they wouldn't be in the wrong. And I'm going to take you back to that example when I was in Calapatria. I was on a yard, and keep in mind, like I've said in the past, when I did time up north, I would prefer to do time up north because the camaraderie up there with the homies, back when I was doing time, I'm speaking for when I was doing time back in the early 90s, we didn't look at homies as being from this area or that area. We were all homies. There was homies, Southsiders, and there was, you know, so on and so on. I'm not going to use any titles because people tend to use these titles too freely out here, and they don't understand it. And they shouldn't be using these titles. I see a lot of stuff that goes on, man, and I just have to turn my head because it triggers me. But I know I don't live that life no more. You know, I'm out here, I'm pushing that positive vibe, and that's what I do day in, day out, you know, trying to help people change their lives. We're just trying to help them go through any struggles, you know, especially when it comes to fitness or just trying to get ahead of the game, you know, as far as like purchasing their property and all that. I've broke my limited beliefs, man. I broke my family curse of not owning anything and just living in trailers. And when I talk trailers, I ain't talking about trailer courts that certain people claim they grew up in. Those are not trailer courts. Those are some badass fucking townhomes to me. I grew up in trailer courts, baby. Toe up, boy. You can still go through my hood and see some trailer courts. They shout out, but, you know, gotta love them, baby. That's where I came from. Rooted, baby. But anyways, yeah, so, yeah, OG went rambling off and shit. But yeah, so it would be entirely up to this person, you know what I mean, if he's going to push through. But more than likely, he's not going to be able to hang because as you get transferred and get moved, you know, people are going to catch wind. And with wind and whispers in the air, people would be prepared to receive you. And as they receive you, they're going to have, how should I say, they will have the tools to put to you. Okay, so I'm not going to speak on any more further than that. But when anything involves something that has to do with children, women, elderly abuse, I do not condone that shit at all. I don't care how you spin the narrative. At the end of the day, the person that violated them rules will have to rest his neck in his bed. If I were in the presence of somebody and I knew of an individual that had a bad jacket on him, would I turn my cheek? I'm going to keep it real and 100 with you. Negative. Will I act out to incriminate myself? No. Rock 'em to sleep, baby. Rock 'em to sleep. For those of you that know, you know. So anyways, people, for those of you funny bunnies out there that are always trying to put labels on people and shit, you guys really ain't about that life, man. Quit it. You know what I mean? Keep that stuff off of social media, because all you're doing is contaminating the young minds of our youth. You know, I'm here to try to show them a different way. I'm not trying to be here to preach to them and say, no, don't do this with gangs, this and that. No, at the end of the day, my boy, shit, I love my hood. Love it to the fullest. Until they lay me to rest, I still love it. You know what I mean? They'll cover me with roses, baby. So I'm a wildflower. Come from where you get your hand shook and your money took, baby. I love all my homeboys. You know, at the end of the day, all I could do is just put out a good word and, you know, explain to homies that, you know, there's a longer and broader street and a much shinier street taking a different path. But like I've said in the past, and I'm going to tell you guys today, all I could be is that teacher to hold the door open for you. It's your job as a student to come in, have a seat, and learn. It's just like I can't take my fucking horse to water and force it to drink. I drag that motherfucker as much as I want and take him to water. He ain't going to drink unless he wants to drink. You know, I'm just trying to break it down to you guys in simple terms. You pick up what I'm putting down, people. If not, shoo, my goodness. You got to step up your game, baby. Pick up that vernacular. Pick up that ghetto slang. That pintero slang. I just bullshitted with you guys, man. You know, that's humor from an old school mentality. For those of you that are still out here following me, and to the individual that I just got off the horn with you, my boy, much love and respect to you. You already know, my boy. Yes, indeed. I will tap in with you, especially the next time I'm over there in your area. My boy, I go over there, we can bust a flick, shake your vice out, you know what I mean? I'll drink a mocktail and you could have a cocktail. You know what I mean? Tequila sunrise, because, you know, I don't drink, G. But, yeah, shit, I chop it up, homie. You know what I mean? Shit, can't talk about it, baby. You got to be about it. Ain't nothing to it but to it, right? Shit. But anyways, man, I appreciate the individuals that have reached out to me. I hope I was able to elaborate on what was going on. And tomorrow I'm going to touch on, because I know someone had asked me if I was prejudiced, and I'm going to break it down, man. I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to keep it 100. You know this OG ain't biased, man. I went to the county jail a certain way, and it came out a whole different beast, you know, but I was young. You know, sometimes we're young, dumb, and full of cum, and we just don't think before we react. You know, we just do our thing. And a lot of propaganda was fed to us, you know, so it'll be a topic for tomorrow, people. So at the end of the day, man, if you want to get started in your fitness journey and becoming that 10.5 like OG right here, I mean, OG got the results, baby. There ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. All you have to do is just reach out to me and shoot me a DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. And one other thing before I go, thank you to all my subscribers, my followers, my channel members. Much love and respect to you guys, man. Especially Mr. Real G, man, always giving me those, I think you call them super thanks or super tags or something. I'm not even sure, G. Trust and believe, man. Once I get on that, once I get my lives going, I'm hoping to get my live going before this event that I have coming, because I want to go on there with my followers and my subscribers. I'm gonna be around a lot of heavy hitters that day. You'd be surprised who OG mingles with, man. this social media has it's blessed me with a lot of stuff, you know. And I'm like I said, as far as like views and all that stuff, I really never tripped on that shit over here. But now that I see it, it's like, oh shit, I get views on certain topics. You know what I mean? And yeah, obviously, if you keep on touching, I don't know how you get paid because I don't do the research on that. You know, like I said, I'm a full-time online fitness coach. That's what I focus on. You know, but as far as my YouTube channel, it's been very supportive. You know, for what I do in my everyday living. You know, it's brought more attention to my fitness journey. And helping others with their fitness journey. Man, I got people day in, day out reaching out to me, asking me questions about fitness and nutrition. And, you know, I'm always there, man. I'll tap in with you guys, you know. I don't, the only question I will leave unanswered are the foolish ones, you know what I mean? Because when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And I'm not going to involve myself in them childish circus games, you know, so I'll just ignore them and remove them. And the reason why I remove them, because people do tell me, just leave them there, man. It's just for content. That way other people will act on it. I don't want that stuff on my channel. And now if I was looking for all the movement and clout and all that shit, I would leave all them fucking foolish comments on there. Why? Because I got some supporters that are righteous for me. They'll go to war with these individuals. I've seen it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you guys don't need to do that, man. I appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, people, OG Rambles. This is what I do. And yeah, I said I wasn't going to address myself as OG. I didn't give myself that title. I earned it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking classic, baby. Come on now. Go through that motherfucking, the county jail that I went through. It was just me and maybe a couple other homies and one maravilloso right there in the 900 floor. And I took a look around. I said, damn, homie, you remember back in the day when we were growing up? We had all the big brocheros there. Now we're like classics. We're like collector's items. We're very few and minimum. What happened, homie? A lot of them are, you know, doing all day. A lot of them are gone. A lot of them went out backwards. It is what it is, baby. That's part of the life that we grew up in, you know. It's either you love it or hate it, however you want to take it. But anyways, people, that's enough rambling on. I'm out, baby. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, hit the like and subscribe button. Share this channel with your amigos, your amigas, your camaradas, your bed buddies, your insignificant other, whoever it may be, your coworker, fuck your funny bunny neighbors. Share this channel. Let's get it to grow, people. That way I could start doing some lives, you know? Yeah. Now, with that being said, you guys already know what time it is, man. Shoot me that DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, baby. Let's do this.